Space. Windows down arrow.
Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Keith here again at KTV Web Services, and in this video we're going to check out how to install a web server for development on your local machine. So this will install things like Apache, MariaDB to give you the MySQL and PHP-MyAdmin, and then you'll also get PHP and Perl. So the goal here is to be able to we're going to go in and download this web server from apachefriends.org, and then it's called XAMPP, and we are going to be using JAWS 2020 screen reader. So just a quick overview. Like I said, we're going to go pick up the program, and then we're going to download it to our PC and then install it, and then I'll walk you through that. Then I'll show you how to get your server up and running, and then we'll go into the web browser to be able to not only see it work, but also create a folder and our first index.php file, which we will then simply go into and echo out hello world. So to first get started, we are going to go to Google Chrome.
Windows 3. Taskbar. Bitnami for XAMPP.
Alright, so we are going to, I'm going to put the link in the description below, but for us to find it here in the video, we're going to go to Google.
Alt-D. D. On. Enter. New notification from Google Chrome, left margin Google.
Alright, so we're going to get into the search field, and you want to type download XAMPP for Windows. So download, and that's XAM for Michael, and then PP, so that's Papa, XAMPP for Windows.
Windows. Enter. Download XAMPP for Windows. Left margin.
Okay, so we are on our Google search results. We're going to go to the top of the page with Control plus Home.
Left margin.
And we're going to press our H key as in for headings to navigate to the first search result.
Left margin accessibility. Search modes. Search results heading level 1. Web results heading level 2. Downloads app visited heading level 3 link.
Alright, in our first search result, I've already been there. Download XAMPP, and just to show you the URL.
Left margin link www.apachefriends.org single right.
So that's apachefriends.org. We're going to press enter on this.
Downloads app for Windows Google search Google Chrome. Download.
Okay, so once this page opens up, we're going to navigate to the top, Control plus Home.
Left margin down.
And then we're going to press our H key until we hear it's a graphic that's labeled as a heading, and it will be for the Windows downloader. Now, you can also download this on Macintosh and Linux. So let's find that.
Left margin Apache Friends. Download heading level 1. Images / Windows - logo - E7 times 10 to the power of 0 C87 XAMPP for Windows.
Okay, so now that we're in the section for Windows, if we press T for table,
5 columns and 4 rows.
Pulls us to a table. Now we're going to down arrow till we hear the table header version.
Left margin checksum column header size 7.2 point link what apostrophe 7 size.
Let me get back
version
up
column
to
header.
it.
Table heading level table with version column header.
All right, so our version column header. Now I'm looking for 7.4, and those version numbers just they relate to the version of PHP. So we're gonna press Alt, hold down Alt plus Control plus Delete. Or I'm sorry, I just did that command, so it's in my head. But Alt Control plus down arrow, and that will run us through the version numbers in this table.
Version column header.
So Alt Control down arrow.
Left margin 7.2.33 / PHP 7.2.33.
So you hear 7.2, so we want 7.4. We're going to down arrow hold while still holding the Alt and Control keys.
7.3.22 7.4.10 /
Alright, so the third one we come to, which is also the last here in this table, is 7.4. So now if we just let go of Alt Control and just press down arrow by itself.
Left margin link what apostrophe s included.
So you have a link to see what's included. We're going to down arrow past these 2 list items.
List of 2 items nest MD5 SHA1 list and nesting level 1.
All right, so underneath this list,
Link download left paren 64-bit right paren
is a download link. So on this link, you want to press enter. It will open a new page, just kind of like welcoming you to Apache friends and things like that, and XAMPP. Now it will take time for the download to commence because it will, or really just to finish, because it's a big download. So I've already downloaded it, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and just go directly to my downloads folder. I'm going to press Windows plus E as an echo.
Windows E File Explorer.
Okay, open my File Explorer. Now it's going to be in my recent folders. I'm going to press D for downloads.
D. Downloads.
Press enter on this.
Enter. Downloads. Items view list box.
All right, so we're going to pick up it was last week.
OJ3000 OJ3 XAMPP dash early last week expanded. XAMPP dash Windows dash x64 dash 7.4.9 dash 0 dash VC15 dash installer left paren 1 right paren.exe checked.
All right, you should hear the same thing except for the left parenthesis 1 right parenthesis. That just means that I've already got this in here in another area. So, but this is the download we're looking for. You want to press enter on this to get started.
Enter. Window dialog. Store experience host. Working progress bar. Store experience host. The app you apostrophe retrying to install ISN.
Okay, so it's going to let us know that this app is not a trusted app in Microsoft Store. So we're going to tab to press install anyway.
Install anyway button.
Press enter on that.
Enter. Downloads. Items view multi-select list box.
Okay, so our
Last week
user,
expanded.
all right, our user account control will pop up, and here you can press a shortcut key Alt plus Y to that's Alt plus Y, which is for yes.
Alt Y.
That will accept.
Downloads.
Let me make sure it didn't lose
Fresh.
my focus.
Downloads app videos. Learning Python variable.
Okay, all right, so
Downloads. Downloads app OBS25 downloads. Warning.
all right, so once you accept and press yes in the user account control, you're going to get this warning that pops up letting you know that you have user account control enabled. Now, this is only if you choose to install this into your program files in your C drive. So the default for this is to be downloaded and installed directly into the root of the C drive. So it'd be C:\XAMPP. So we don't have to worry about this. You just press enter for OK.
Enter. Next greater button.
Okay, so it pops up, brings up our setup. We're going to read the title. So JAWS key
Next
or
greater button.
insert plus T is in tango.
Setup.
And it's just going to tell us setup. So when you're walking through this, if you want to see what all the window has to show, just use your JAWS cursor. So that's going to be insert plus the minus sign on the numpad, or if you're on a laptop, you're going to use caps lock key plus P as in Papa.
JAWS scan.
Now from here you can just, once you get into your JAWS cursor, you can control plus home.
Top.
That's going to put you at the top of your window, and then you can just down arrow to read.
System. Welcome to the XAMPP setup wizard period. Setup dash XAMPP. Less back button unavailable. Next greater button. Cancel button.
Okay, so cancels the last thing. So, but you have to be in your PC cursor to be able to to be able to go from to interact with the actual button. So we're going to go back to our PC cursor.
PC.
And we're going to find next.
Cancel button. Next greater button.
And we're going to press enter.
Enter.
Okay, so in this window,
Cancel button. Server. Check open.
you're going to have a little list here, and it's going to be kind of like a tree view, but you have one area, and you down arrow through here, and it's just the default. Everything that's default is going to be checked. So, but it's just the services that are available with XAMPP. So we're going to leave all those the same, and we're just going to tab till we hear next.
Less back button. Next greater button. Enter.
Press enter.
Edit. Type.
So this right here is where you want to install XAMPP. It's going to default, it installs directly in the root of your C drive. So that just means that you're going to have your C drive and then XAMPP. So you want to leave this default, or you could simply change the name. You could change it to C:\web server. So that, but you definitely want to keep it installed in your C drive. So we're going to tab till we hear next,
button,
because we're going to leave the
less
default.
back button, next greater button, alert exclaim, warning, the selected folder is not empty period.
Okay, so I've already got this installed. It's going to give me this message. What I'm going to do is
enter button,
I'm going to press OK,
edit, blank,
and we're going to type a new name. So C:\\,
backslash.
and we're actually going to type web serve 2. Okay, so we're going to tab till we hear next now.
web serve 2, less back button, next greater
Press
button,
enter.
alert exclaim, warning, the installation directory must be a path containing only letters, comma, numbers, and the characters apostrophe slash apostrophe comma, apostrophe period, apostrophe comma.
I've made a mistake. Let me
Cancel button,
correct
edit.
this. So we're going to
Blank, 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 blank,
make sure everything is deleted out of there. C:\,
backslash,
and we're going to name web serve, and then 2 will type.
web serve 2, less back button, next greater button,
Press enter on next.
enter, cancel button, to activate press spacebar period, next,
Okay, so now we're going to use our JAWS cursor,
JAWS scan to PC,
and we're
JAWS
going
scan.
to Control plus Home to get to the top. And now we're going to read through this window.
System, XAMPP control panel for Windows supports different languages period.
Okay, so this is the language window where you can select your language.
PC,
So by default it's English. We're going to leave it at this.
cancel button, down combo box, less back button, next greater button, enter,
Press enter on next. Alright, so this next window, let me get to my JAWS cursor so we can go
JAWS
check it
scan.
out. Alright, so we go to JAWS cursor, Control plus Home,
top, setup,
and then we're going to read
System.
through a down arrow.
Bitnami for XAMPP provides free installers that can install triple comma, Doom,
Now, what this is Bitnami, which you can use this to install free services like content management services or content management systems like WordPress and Joomla, Drupal, things like that, and it's for XAMPP. So we
Cancel
are
button.
going to, if you tab,
checkbox checked,
it's going to have a checkbox. You can leave that checked if you want to develop using WordPress or something like that. So we're going to leave it checked,
less back button, next greater button,
and we're going to press enter on next.
enter, untitled dash Google Chrome,
Okay, so what this does is it actually opens up Bitnami in your web browser to give you information to maybe where you can bookmark this. If you want to bookmark it, just Control plus D as in Delta, press enter to save it as the name it gave it, and then you'll have it. So we're actually going to navigate back to the setup window, so I'm Alt plus Tab.
setup, to move to an item prep,
Okay, so right here we're going to navigate to our JAWS cursor,
JAWS scan,
and we're going to go to the top, and we're going to read.
system, setup is now ready to begin installing XAMPP on your computer period, ready to install, XAMPP installer, less back button, next greater button,
Alright, so it is ready to install now. So
PC.
I've
less back button, next greater button,
already got this installed on my PC, so it's gonna I'm gonna exit out of this.
cancel button, alert exclaim, question, yes enter button, enter.
Yes, I do.
Bitnami for XAMPP applet,
Okay, so what's gonna happen is you're gonna install it, and it's gonna take a little while. And whenever it finishes, it's gonna ask you if you want to open up the control panel for XAMPP. So you want that, and you want to press finish. Now once you press finish, you will more than likely get a pop-up. It's going to be your Windows security. It's going to say that it is a risk, but it just needs to access ports on your computer, and in order to do that it has to go through the firewall. So you just want to press allow when you see that. Now once your download and install finishes, like I said, you want that control panel to open up, but let's say that it doesn't. So, or you didn't check the box, or didn't see it there because I didn't go through that with you. while you were doing it at the same time. So what you want to do to get to your control panel at any time, you want to navigate to your C drive. There's two ways you can do that. You can do that from the File Explorer, or we can hold down our Windows key and press R as in run.
Windows R. Run dialog.
And we can simply type in C://
enter.
Press enter.
File Explorer.
It's going to open up your C drive. You want to press X.
X. Earlier this month expanded. XAMPP 7.4.
Alright, so I have one that I installed already, XAMPP _7.4. We're going to get into this one. Alright, so that's what you're looking for, is XAMPP, whatever you saved it as, which if it's the only one you have, I would stick with XAMPP. So we're going to press enter on this.
Enter. Shell folder view.
Alright, so in here,
Apache.
depending on how you have your files and folders structured, it could be in a different place. So I'm just going to tell you what it's called.
XAMPP-control.exe.
So it's XAMPP control.exe. You want to find that and press enter.
Enter.
Okay, so it does take a minute to open up. So what we're going to do is, sometimes it does not gain focus. We're going to Alt-Tab, see if we can find it.
Videos, downloads, OBS2, downloads, XAMPP control panel v3.2.4 left bracket compiled June 5th, 2019 right bracket.
Alright, that's what our title bar is going to sound like whenever you find the window. Now, when you get into this window, you can tab through it, so we're just going to tab.
XAMPP control panel, module start button, module start button.
And you hear module start, module start. The first one you come to, it doesn't read it to you, but it is the Apache server. The next one is the MySQL.
Module start button.
One of these is Tomcat, and one of these is Mercury Mail. I'm not sure which one, but I do not use either.
Modules config button.
And then we'll have a modules config. That's just a config folder for Apache.
Modules logs button.
And then a log, that's just where our air logs and things like that are going to go for Apache.
Modules config button.
And then
modules logs button.
Once you keep tabbing, it gets you stuck in these two.
Modules config button. Modules logs button.
So what you want to do is press home.
Modules config button. Modules logs button.
Sometimes that will not. Alright, so if I press left arrow, it puts me in a different group, into the Mercury. I'm going to press left arrow again.
Modules FileZilla group.
And then we have FileZilla.
Modules MySQL group. Modules config button.
Okay. Alright, so it reads it to us now. So if we left arrow, right arrow, so I'm a right.
Modules logs button.
I'm a right arrow.
Modules MySQL group.
So we have modules MySQL group.
MySQL group. Modules FileZilla group.
That one. Alright, so now we're in the group. And you kind of just, it's, I would have to sit here and document this to give you an exact way of how to navigate this. But just know that the
modules MySQL group, modules FileZilla group,
module FileZilla,
modules Mercury group,
and the Mercury we're not going to mess with.
Modules MySQL group.
So MySQL, I'm going to tab.
Modules logs button. Modules config button.
Shift
modules
tab,
logs button.
Try to get
modules
back.
config button. Modules logs button. Modules config button. Modules logs button.
We're
Modules
going to
config
tab.
button. Modules logs button. Escape.
Escape out of
modules
that.
start button. Modules logs button.
Alright, so if you press escape and then press
modules Mercury group.
Escape and then press tab.
Modules logs button. Modules start button.
Alright, so the first start button we come to again is Apache server. So here's what I want to show you. If you go to your web browser, your default web browser, so mine's Google Chrome.
Windows 3. Bitnami for XAMPP.
And it's already got Bitnami open, so we're actually going to go to our address bar.
Address and search bar edit.
Now, when I installed this server for this video, I installed it in under a different port. But for you, if it's your only one, you're going to type localhost, all one word, slash, and then just press enter.
Localhost slash. Enter.
Now, you should get a web error.
Google Chrome.
Because it's not going to pull anything. See, there's going to be a network error. Now I'm going to show you. I'm going to go to where I'm supposed to go. Now,
Blank.
where I'm supposed to be is localhost, but instead of the default port, which is 80, I have it on 511 or 5111. So I have to type localhost colon and then 5111, and now I can press enter.
5111. Enter.
And we should still get that error.
Localhost-network error-Google Chrome.
And we still get the network error because nothing can be found there. So now what we're going to do is go back over to our control panel. So Alt plus Tab.
XAMPP control panel V3 point.
And now we are going to check our focus.
Start button.
And we're still on that start button and it's the first start button for the Apache. Now we're going to press spacebar to start this.
Space. Modules graphic 410 button. Graphic 410 button.
Alright, so now we're going to Alt Tab around just to see if we have any security pop-ups.
Localhost-XAMPP under videos, downloads, OBS 2.5 downloads, XAMPP control, localhost-Google Chrome.
Nope. Okay, so what we're going to check, we're going to tab.
Config button, modules start button, modules logs button, modules config button, modules logs button, modules logs button, modules start button, modules config button, modules start button, modules logs button, home, modules config button, modules logs button, quit button, help button, explorer button, netstat button, edit, shell button, config button, services button, modules start button, services button, modules start button, modules start button, modules start button, modules start button, services button, modules start button.
Okay, so again, it's the first button. We want to press enter, not spacebar. And that's going to
services button, modules stop button,
start the service. So now we hear stop button whenever we alt tab or shift tab and then tab back to it. So now if we alt tab
localhost-Google Chrome
back to our local host and we refresh the window, so control plus R's and reload.
Control R. Localhost-Google Chrome. Welcome to XAMPP-Google Chrome. Left margin.
Okay, you should get the welcome to XAMPP. This is going to give you
left margin welcome to
information about XAMPP. So this is our web server. Now let me show you the location where you're going to save your folders and files in order to be able to run them on the server. So again, you want to navigate to your C:/ and then the XAMPP folder. So we're going to do that by using Windows plus R.
Windows R. Run dialog.
Alright, so C:/ and I'm going to type the net XAMPP. Mine is _7.4. Yours should be just XAMPP. I'm going to press enter on this.
4. Enter. XAMPP_7.
Okay, so this opens back up into the XAMPP folder. Now, what you are looking for is a folder called htdocs. That's H for Helvetica, T for Tango, and then docs, DOCS. So we can navigate to this by first character. I'm going to type HT real fast.
H.
Alright, so we read our current line.
Height docs.
Height docs is the way that Jaws pronounces this. Press enter on this.
Height docs.
Now this will be the root directory of where your server initiates. So this can be compared to like a public _HTML on a web server like GoDaddy, or your www folder that you might find inside of like a Linux based environment. So what I want to show you is in here you would actually create a folder. So let's say we create a folder just to show PHP.
Control space.
So I'm going to control space to deselect the folder selected. Press my applications key, or you can press shift F10 at the same time. I'm going to press W for new submenu.
W. New submenu.
And then I'm going to press enter on this because it's already got a folder selected.
Enter. Leaving menus.
And we're going to name our folder just test PHP. Press enter.
Test PHP. Enter. Test PHP.
Now one thing to note is that any folder that you make case sensitive, or where you use a capital, you also have to do that in the address bar when you get onto your browser and go looking for it. So we're going to get into this folder.
Enter. Test PHP.
Now we're going to create a file. So again, we're going to applications key, W, and we're going to press T for text document.
Leaving menus.
Now I'm going to Control A to select this entire file name because we want to select that extension. Now we're going to type index.php.
Index.
Press enter.
PHP. Enter. Rename dialog.
So you're going to get a rename warning. We do want to rename it, so we're going to say yes.
Items view multi-select.
Now what I'm going to do is to save time, I'm actually going to just open this index.php file into Notepad. So I'm just going to press enter on it.
Enter. Index.php-notepad.
So we are going to just quickly echo hello world to the screen, and then we will finish up from there. So we're going to open up our PHP tags, less
question,
and we're going to do PHP, press enter.
PHP. Enter.
Alright, and then we'll close our PHP tags with question greater than sign.
Blank.
We're going to save this.
Question. PHP.
So we have less question, less than, question mark, PHP, that's all no spaces.
Blank.
Then we come down to close our tags, question greater.
Blank.
Now in the middle where it's empty, we're going to type echo. So ECHO. And then we use quotes to surround, to write a string. So quote, quote, and we have to end this line with a semicolon.
Quote, quote. Semicolon.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and left arrow
semicolon, quote,
till we get in the middle of those quotes and read our current line.
Text editor edit less question. PHP echo quote, quote, semicolon question.
And it's just going to read the whole thing. I'm not sure why Notepad does that. But echo, quote, quote, semicolon, and that's echo space, and then quote, quote, semicolon. Now the cursor is in between those quotes. Now we can type our message, hello world.
Hello.
Alright. And we can save this, and now what you want to do is come over to your browser.
Welcome to XAMPP-Google Chrome.
Now we are on our local host. I'm going to get up into my address bar, Alt plus D as in Delta.
Alt D. Address and search bar edit.
Now I'm going to go to the end of this address bar with the end key.
End. Blank. Slash.
And at the end of this slash, so I'm going to read the current line.
Address and search bar edit localhost / 5111 / dashboard /.
Alright, so localhost / 5111. Now that's my port. Yours is just going to say localhost / dashboard /. So we're going to get rid of this dashboard.
Slash end slash 111 end. Blank.
Okay, so now we've got localhost / 5111 / now we're going to type test PHP / and we don't have to type index.php, but we're going to. And we're going to press enter.
PHP. Enter. Localhost
Okay.
localhost / 5000 left margin hello world.
All right, so you hear
Left margin hello world.
hello world. That is the message that we wanted it to print out on the screen. So it shows us that we have now given ourselves the ability to write PHP from our local machine and then be able to test in a development environment. And this speeds up work pretty quickly, so you don't have to constantly upload files and folders to your server and then check and then upload again. You can just save your file and then reload your browser. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This video was how to install a web server on your local machine. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to either email me, I've left that in the description below, or you can leave a comment down below. I also provided a link to my Facebook page as well. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.
Index.php, test PHP, XAMPP videos, downloads, OBS 2.5.